Okay, so I'm Ayana. I am a junior chemistry major, biology minor, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Awesome. So, kind of what led you to want to major in that?
Clinical laboratory sciences, pretty much. I didn't want to go the whole pre-med route necessarily, so more of the scientific background instead of like the actual upfront medical scene. But now that being involved here, I want to do like more student affairs, so now more like health administration with like, so I have like the administration part and I also have the background like hands-on scientific part, so it worked out perfectly.
That's awesome. And sort of how did you, I guess, discover student affairs as something that you wanted to do?
Well, wanting to get involved was my first step, so I kind of like Googled it. I was like involvement at VCU, and the Student Leadership Involvement Center popped up, and I met with Lindsay and Rebecca, and next thing I know I was at iLead. It was a leadership camp retreat over fall break when we had the bike race. And then as soon as I came back, everybody that I had met was like on homecoming and like APB, and then it just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed most about that experience? Or any experience with leadership and involvement?
I think pretty much like establishing the networks and like the friendships through it all. Though Stephanie is my advisor, I know I can go to her for more than just APB and homecoming questions. I can go to her for like recommendation letters and just for like personal advice on stuff. It's not necessarily always business. So
That's awesome. And how else are you involved at VCU?
At VCU, I'm also a part of an organization called Pendulum Global. At VCU, it is more of an outreach to international awareness. We do a program with HIV/AIDS affected kids in Swaziland and a girls outreach program in the Philippines where my mother is from. So that was a personal touch of heart for me there. I'm also a student ambassador. This upcoming summer, I will be a student orientation leader. I think there's other stuff, but I worked in the Career Center, which was more beneficial to me. Actually learning how to properly do a resume helped me tweak my own at the end of the day. Yeah.
Well,
besides being in the slick all the time. Yeah.
That's very involved. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So with all those experiences, sort of, what does the VCU experience mean to you?
The VCU experience, at the end of the day, I guess it means unity. The fact that everybody comes from different backgrounds and all over campus, different majors, different minors, just to all be under one roof and actually have a common denominator of like involvement and just the urban feel of VCU that's given off. That was more laid back. That kind of equates to the unity. Like everybody right now, though not everybody watches basketball, everybody's downstairs in Breakpoint watching VCU play, and it's kind of like we all have that one common denominator, no matter where we came from, and it is VCU, and it is the unity that VCU does bring with along with the diversity that we state in our statement. So I think it's kind of cool.
No, that's definitely awesome. Yeah, everyone kind of rallies around the same common cause. That's pretty neat. Let's see what I was going to ask. Oh, so you've been involved in a lot of different projects, teams, groups. Is there anything that you haven't accomplished yet that you want to accomplish or aspire to before you graduate? And if not, is there something that you've done so far that you're really proud of?
There's probably a lot I want to do, but more importantly, it's probably reaching out to more than just the programs that I'm already in, maybe stepping outside of my shell a little more and going to maybe another organization that I would necessarily not find myself in. Just being able to be a little bit more well-rounded to help establish more, like not even just for personal, but like, just developing more communication skills and all the stuff that comes along with it, I guess.
That'd be good. And before you, I guess, as you get closer to graduation, sort of what do you hope to do after graduation? So what are your sort of career goals and aspirations?
Well, after graduation, I hope to go straight to grad school. I don't want to take a break because I know it'll be harder to come back, but I do want to study student affairs, get my master's in that, just so I can be more involved, but from another standpoint, because I know what it's like to be involved, and I know the positives and the negatives, but I know in the end that the positives do outweigh the negatives, and it helps in more ways than one to be involved at school, and to also do it, but in a health field, in the medical placement. So I guess just kind of combine both of my passions with medical and student affairs involvement into one thing would probably be my goal at the end of graduation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And sort of my last question will be any advice or sort of words of wisdom you would have for any student that's at VCU now or looking to come to VCU as, a way to enjoy the experience?
Getting out there is the biggest thing. It's not necessarily involvement, although I do encourage that 100%. Being a transfer student from ODU, not being involved, I can see not only just what being involved can do. It can help better a lot of things with your personal, but also like interpersonal and just being around other people. But just getting out there, you don't even have to be involved, just going to events. Walking around the campus, simply just not being in your room, just getting out there is pretty much about the experience, just a college experience in general, really. VCU has a lot to offer, so there's no reason someone doesn't feel like they can't fit in here or to feel like they can't enjoy the experience of being at VCU for 4 years or however long they're here. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.